History of the Roman-Germanic Wars. The Roman-Germanic Wars were a series of protracted conflicts between the Roman Empire and various Germanic tribes that spanned centuries, beginning in the late 2nd century BCE and continuing into the 5th century CE. These wars were pivotal in shaping the cultural, political, and social landscape of Europe, marking the transition from the ancient Roman world to the medieval Germanic kingdoms. This history unfolds in phases, revealing how two vastly different civilizations clashed, adapted, and eventually merged to create the foundation of modern Europe. 1. The early conflicts. Cimbric Wars, 113 to 101 BCE. The first recorded confrontations between Rome and the Germanic tribes occurred during the Cimbric Wars. Migrating tribes such as the Cimbri and Teutons moved southward in search of new lands, bringing them into conflict with the Roman Republic. Key events. Battle of Noreia, 113 BCE. The Romans suffered their first defeat at the hands of the Cimbri. Battle of Arezzo, 105 BCE. A devastating loss for Rome, with tens of thousands of soldiers killed by the combined forces of the Cimbri and Teutons. Battle of Vercelli, 101 BC. Gaius Marius reformed Roman legions defeated the Cimbri, ending the immediate threat to Rome. Significance. Highlighted the growing threat of large-scale Germanic migrations. Spurred Roman military reforms under Gaius Marius, which strengthened Rome's ability to deal with future tribal incursions. 2. Rome's northern expansion, 12 BCE 9 CE. Under Emperor Augustus, Rome embarked on an ambitious campaign to conquer Germania and extend its northern frontier beyond the Rhine. Key figures. Drusus the Elder led early campaigns, building forts and advancing to the Elbe River. Tiberius continued Drusus' efforts, consolidating Roman control in Germania. Turning point. Battle of Teutoburg Forest, 9 CE. The expansion came to an abrupt halt when Arminius, a Germanic leader trained by Rome, united several tribes to ambush and annihilate 3 Roman legions under Publius Quinctilius Varus. Impact. Forced Rome to abandon its plans to conquer Germania east of the Rhine. Established the Rhine as the permanent boundary of the Roman Empire in the north. 3. Retaliation and consolidation, 14 to 180 CE. After the Teutoburg Forest disaster, Rome shifted its strategy from conquest to containment, focusing on fortifying its borders along the Rhine and Danube. The campaigns of Germanicus, 14 to 16 CE. Germanicus led retaliatory campaigns into Germania, defeating Arminius and recovering 2 of the 3 lost legionary standards. Frontier Wars. Roman legions stationed along the Rhine and Danube engaged in constant skirmishes with tribes like the Marcomanni, Quadi, and Alemanni. Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE, under Marcus Aurelius. Rome fought a series of brutal conflicts along the Danube frontier, repelling large-scale invasions. Significance. These conflicts revealed the growing strength and organization of the Germanic tribes. Rome's resources were stretched thin, signaling the beginning of the empire's struggles to maintain its borders. 4. The migration period, 4th to 5th century CE. The arrival of the Huns in Europe in the late 4th century triggered widespread migrations among the Germanic tribes, bringing them into direct conflict with the Roman Empire. Key events. Visigothic Revolt, 376 CE, fleeing the Huns. The Visigoths crossed into Roman territory but rebelled after being mistreated. Battle of Adrianople, 378 CE. The Visigoths decisively defeated the Roman army, killing Emperor Valens. The sack of Rome, 410 CE. Alaric and his Visigoths looted Rome, symbolizing the empire's declining power. Germanic kingdoms emerge. Tribes such as the Vandals, Ostrogoths, and Franks established kingdoms within Roman territories. Significance. The migration period accelerated the fragmentation of the Western Roman Empire. Germanic tribes transitioned from external enemies to dominant political powers within former Roman territories. 5. The fall of the Western Roman Empire, 476 CE. The deposition of the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer marked the end of the Western Roman Empire. Key figures. Odoacer, declared himself king of Italy, effectively replacing Roman rule with Germanic governance. Theodoric the Great established the Ostrogothic kingdom in Italy, blending Roman administrative practices with Germanic traditions. Impact: the Western Roman Empire gave way to Germanic kingdoms that preserved and transformed Roman culture. The Roman Church emerged as a unifying force, bridging the gap between Roman and Germanic societies. 6. Reconciliation and transformation, 476 to 800 CE. The centuries following Rome's fall saw the gradual integration of Roman and Germanic traditions, leading to the formation of medieval Europe. The role of the Church. The Christianization of Germanic tribes ensured the survival of Roman cultural and religious traditions. Missionaries like St. Boniface played a key role in converting pagan tribes to Christianity. The Frankish Kingdom, Clovis I, 466 to 511 CE, unified the Frankish tribes and converted to Christianity, aligning the Franks with the Roman Church. The rise of Charlemagne, Charlemagne's reign, 742 to 814 CE, marked the culmination of Roman-Germanic synthesis, with his crowning as Holy Roman Emperor symbolizing the fusion of Roman, Germanic, and Christian traditions. Legacy of transformation. Roman law and administration were adapted to Germanic governance structures. Latin and Germanic languages merged, forming the foundations of modern European languages. Key themes and legacies. The Roman-Germanic Wars were not just a series of battles but a transformative period in European history. They highlight themes of conflict, adaptation, and eventual reconciliation. 1. Cultural exchange. Roman engineering, law, and Christianity deeply influenced Germanic societies. Germanic warrior culture and governance shaped medieval Europe. 2. The rise of medieval Europe. The blending of Roman and Germanic traditions gave rise to feudalism, the Holy Roman Empire, and the cultural framework of the Middle Ages. 3. The enduring influence of Rome. Despite its fall, the Roman Empire's legacy endured through its integration with Germanic traditions, laying the foundation for modern European civilization. Epilogue. From war to unity. The Roman-Germanic Wars began as a fierce confrontation between two civilizations, but evolved into a story of cultural fusion and transformation. The wars reshaped the boundaries of Europe, ended an ancient empire, and gave birth to new kingdoms that carried forward the legacy of Rome in a distinctly Germanic form. History of the Roman-Germanic Wars. Continued. 7. The role of key battles in shaping the conflict. The Roman-Germanic Wars were punctuated by significant battles that shifted the balance of power and redefined strategies on both sides. These engagements were not only military confrontations but also symbolic moments in the broader struggle between Rome and Germania. Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, 9 CE. The turning point. Overview. The ambush at Teutoburg Forest was a catastrophic defeat for Rome, orchestrated by Arminius, a Germanic chieftain and former Roman ally. 3 Roman legions, led by Publius Quinctilius Varus, were annihilated. Consequences. Rome abandoned plans for expansion east of the Rhine. The defeat exposed the limits of Roman imperial reach and marked Germania as a region resistant to Romanization. The Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE, defending the Danube. Overview. These wars were a series of campaigns waged by Emperor Marcus Aurelius against Germanic tribes, such as the Marcomanni and Quadi, who launched invasions into Roman territory. Significance. Highlighted the growing organization and threat posed by Germanic tribal coalitions, stretched Roman resources, and signaled the empire's waning ability to maintain its extensive borders. Battle of Adrianople, 378 CE, the Visigothic ascendancy. Overview. The Visigoths, fleeing from the Huns, were allowed to settle within Roman borders but rebelled after mistreatment. At Adrianople, they decisively defeated a Roman army led by Emperor Valens, who was killed in battle. Consequences. Marked a shift in power dynamics, with Germanic tribes now capable of defeating Roman field armies. Exposed Rome's inability to effectively integrate or control large migratory groups within its borders. The sack of Rome, 410 CE, the end of an era. Overview. Led by Alaric, the Visigoths sacked Rome, marking the first time in 800 years that the city fell to a foreign enemy. Significance: symbolized the decline of Roman power and prestige, accelerated the fragmentation of the Western Roman Empire. 8. The evolution of Rome's strategy. Rome's approach to dealing with the Germanic tribes evolved over centuries, shifting from aggressive expansion to defensive containment and, eventually, integration. From conquest to containment. Expansionist phase. Under Augustus, Rome sought to conquer Germania outright, building forts and roads to facilitate control. Defensive phase. After the Teutoburg forest disaster, Rome focused on fortifying the Rhine and Danube frontiers, creating the Limes Germanicus. Collaborative phase. By the 4th century, Rome adopted the federation system, relying on Germanic tribes as allies and military auxiliaries.